Now we're going to talk to the man, the myth, and the legend who has put this show together for the past, 4 years now you've done this show?
Yeah, so this will be our fourth year in Peterborough, and next year will be our fifth anniversary. So some special stuff planned for that one.
That's awesome. So who you're just hearing is Kyle Carruthers. We're excited for CanCast coming up. I'm always super excited for the show. I know Jesse is too. Uh, how we're getting really close now from this podcast release date. I know recording are still a little ways out, but not crazy. We're only a month, less than a month out. I guess a
Yeah,
bit more than a month.
don't need to remind me. I get a reminder from Jeff Penner at Jeff Jigs every day how many days there are till CanCast because he likes to kick my anxiety into overdrive. Or I'll get a message from Wham or something. Who shout out to both those guys. Man, they are amazing at promoting. Holy, they don't stop. I feel like they promote CanCast more than we do. So them, Jacked Up Jigs, a few others. Couldn't do without those guys. But first off, thanks for having me on, guys. I love your guys' content, what you guys do. I always laugh when I see you guys at CanCast because I think you're probably like the two busiest guys there. Like you're busier than me. It's just like you guys are just like walking through like your little entourage and all that stuff and talking to everybody. And it's really cool to see. And it's really cool to see like what you guys have done with Average Ontario Anglers and the level you guys have got to.
Just saying to Andrew, like over the last few podcasts, if our listeners have known, we've given away CanCast tickets every single episode, the last 3 episodes, or the last 2 or 3 episodes anyway. And we're so excited for the show. We always say this. We were just talking about this before we hit record, but springtime, like you said, it's show season, right? That's the time that in our area, anyway, we're not reps like you that are flying all over the country, but like in Toronto area in the GTA, there's like 4 or 5 shows. And me and Andrew like to go to every single one of them. And, we like them all. They're all cool. They all have their own thing. But the CanCast show, something very special about that show. And we're going to kind of get into that now. And we talk about it all the time. We post reels about it. We do all this stuff. And if you've never been to the show, it's crazy. Like we can't even describe it. It's not a normal show that you've gone to before. This is exceptional. I just have to say that. So we have a whole bunch of questions that we're going to ask you. So if someone hasn't been to CanCast before, maybe you can whet their appetite of what they can expect. So Andrew has compiled a genius list, right, Andrew?
Absolutely. Highly curated. Spent hours poring over these questions to know exactly which ones Kyle. I fielded every single one of them before Kyle, so all of his answers are very well prepared.
Bring it on. You won't stump me. Don't worry. Nobody can stump me on this subject.
I was going to say, when did this happen?
We literally just gave Kyle a disclaimer before recording. I'm going to throw questions at you. You don't know what
I got a reminder yesterday from Jesse. I'm like, oh crap. Yeah, so I got to do that. So I'm going a million miles a minute over here. But yeah, no, it's man, it is just to kind of jump ahead of that. Hopefully I don't mess up your routine here, Andrew, that we rehearsed, by the way. But, it's a different feel. It's a really big, like high energy event, social environment. And that's what it is. The retailers, the bait makers, the vendors, all in general, they all bring like certain and special deals to CanCast that they don't bring anywhere else, right? Even the stores, they bring stuff just for CanCast that they're not selling in their store and vice versa. And I think that's just what makes it special. I think it's the best deals by far. It's known as a retail show. Like everything is basically for sale in that building. It's amazing the people you run into. And it's just like we call it the biggest party in fishing because that's what it is. It's like seeing all your amazing fishing friends. And it's kind of the kickoff to the season here. With us being the last show, kind of before some of the dealers do their in-store sales and all that stuff, it's kind of the kickoff to spring. And we always kind of go like that last weekend of March, first weekend of April, just depending where the Saturday and Sunday fall and Easter and all that stuff. But it's a high energy, just really fun event to be a part of. And that's what we get after the show. We get a lot of messages and it's always like, that was so much fun. We had a blast. We met tons of people. We talked to tons of people. And it's kind of like a slogan that I want to kind of do a campaign on leading up to the show this year. And I thought of it just like a half hour ago. I was sitting here writing notes for this. And it was like, how do you CanCast? Like, how do you CanCast? And, you get the one guy that walks through there in 3 minutes and he's like, yeah, whatever, I'm out of here. And then you get the other guy that's like, I was there for 8 hours and I didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you make the most of the experience, right? And I always say, like, how do you CanCast? Well, you go in there and you probably get your hot deals that you have to get before they sell out, maybe. But then if it was me, I would be going by every single booth slowly, talking to every single vendor. And it is amazing, like what you will like find out, the knowledge you will get on their product, the deal they will offer you from talking to them that they weren't advertising, the stuff you learn, the fishing spots you hear about, all that kind of stuff. You guys are probably perfect examples. How do you can cast? You guys do it differently. You do it the best, right?
We're
And
there for
that's
about
what
12 hours in the day when it's only open for
yeah,
8. And
exactly. And I think that's what people need to understand, that if you go into it with this attitude of, one, there is more square footage of all fishing vendors than any other show. So that's not disrespect to anybody. We're great friends of all the other show promoters. They all run amazing events, but we're just fishing, right? That is our main thing. We have some boats outside and stuff, but we are just fishing vendors. So when you take all the square footage, it's the biggest one, arguably in Canada, easily, definitely in Ontario. And it's just all about how do you experience it. And I know some people go, they come early, they get in line right away, because we always have free stuff for people standing in line, which, by the way, even if you show up early and our lineup's huge, it flies through the door now. Like, it is. And we have a better plan for it this year. And lots of people say, man, waiting in line for like that half hour before the doors open and like the music's going and everybody's talking and talking fit, like that's part of the fun. Like, that's part of the day, right? Like, it's like you're amped up and you go in the building and the countdown's finishing and like it's just a really good time. So it's one of those
I
things
don't know if you have plans again this year. I know last year, Jesse and I, you asked us to help out, throw some prizes out to the crowd waiting
Yeah,
outside. That was
sure.
fun. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen again this year. So I don't
Yeah,
want to say absolutely, but I
we
mean,
got
that's
lots
the
of cool
kind of
stuff.
energy you bring. Like
Yeah,
you're a professional at working up a crowd.
yeah,
And especially, like you were saying, it's a special kind of environment, and it is more social than any other like fishing trade show I've been to. And it's
yeah.
one of those
It's
things where you go like
Yeah.
every year and you're seeing vendors you saw, even if you're just like a regular Joe, like average Joe off the street, just like us, and you walk up and you talk to a vendor, you come back the next year. Oftentimes, especially if you have like, a weird looking face like me or Jesse, they'll remember you and be like, hey, you were here last year.
Yeah.
And, and you have a great conversation. You're literally building, relationships with people. Like, I've never felt that kind of vibe at an event like that before of, I'm there to buy things, but I'm making new friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we were walking up and down, like, again, Kyle was a good guy and let us go in a bit early, but we were walking up through the line there, and just the amount of people that I saw waiting in line before the
Mhm.
doors open, people that want to get in for the deals. We were walking up, and every like 10 people, it seems like someone stopped and looked at me and grabbed my arm. Hey, Jesse, how's it going? You see so many people. And when you walk in, after the initial, like the craziness of the, when the doors open, everyone's rushing in. After that settles down a bit, you can't literally walk 10 feet without someone wanting to talk to you. It's insane. And I mean, it has nothing to do with me and Andrew being just super cute, but like literally everywhere people want to talk to you. And we mentioned this in a reel we just did. We were there at CanCast last year, over 10 hours, Andrew?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We were there at least an hour before
we
doors
saw
open.
everything. I guarantee we saw less than half. Like,
Yeah,
you will not get bored there. It's a whole day thing for us.
it's really cool, and like it's only getting bigger every year, and I don't want people to think like, oh, Kyle's the hype machine. Like, it seriously is. Like, I have opened up more space this year. Like, it's bigger. We're way ahead of like everything this year. We've been working on it harder than, not that we always work on it hard, but I've been working on this since the show ended last year. Like, we didn't stop. We like got stuff into motion. We have some amazing new vendors coming. Like, it doesn't matter what you're looking for. Like, I can touch on a few of them, but it's just like it's a whole different level what we're gonna do this year. And we're already planning 2026. And because some of the big ideas for 2026, we just don't have time to get them implemented for this year, we're already working with sponsors for next year's event. So I only see this getting bigger. It's definitely not getting smaller. We are selling tickets quicker than we ever have, and we haven't even announced our 15 days of giveaways, where we usually give away $1,000 a day in fishing tackle or prizes leading up to the show. Last year, we gave away $25,000 leading up to the show at retail value. And this year, it's looking to be even probably more than that. It's some unbelievable prizes. And people are just buying tickets. And everyone who buys a ticket, guys that win a ticket on your guys' show, you're all entered in those early bird prizes, which is wicked. So
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool. But no, we're really excited for this year. But the biggest thing, and not take away your questions, Andrew, but what do we change? Right? I think that's
Yep.
probably going to be a big one.
What was his next question?
Yes.
I just
So-
want to cut in here.
Yeah.
Again, Kyle's a pro, because I'm looking through the questions. I'm like, well, we answered one about what makes it a good community. We answered number 2 about, are there any special discounts to the show?
Well, we didn't quite answer all that. there's lots of deals to talk about.
You got to leave people wanting
So,
more, though. We're talking.
yeah,
This is all about building people's
Yeah.
excitement, because
Yeah.
Jesse and I are excited, and we wanted to share this. Wanted to have you on to kind of showcase, not like all the specifics, but like the vibe of what people are going to expect at the show.
For sure.
And to have like you're a generous guy, Kyle, because people buy a ticket and you're like, hey, I'm going to put you in a free draw to win like legit prizes. Like, oh, you're at the front of the door, like, hey, that's awesome. See some kids, here's some, Sankos, here's some, awesome stuff. So that's a fun, really cool like atmosphere. Just on the topic of stuff that's at the show, like we kind of touched on some products and stuff like that. Do you have any like cool seminars or anything lined up? Things to perhaps gain some more like knowledge?
We do.
Large scale?
we got some cool ones this year. So obviously Bob Azumi's coming back, because Bob Azumi's seminar is always packed and everybody wants to listen to Bob. And he hasn't quite given me the topic that he's going to cover yet, but it's going to be awesome. Like, it's Bob.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Like, and that's where it's like, yeah, Bob, whatever. So Bob's coming back for one for sure. Another cool one that we're doing this year is Nick Kousfis again, presented by Radio World. He did one on using fishing electronics last year, and I keep getting messages like, hey, is Nick doing that again? Is Nick doing that one again? And we've had such a demand for it. He's going to do something focusing on how to use your fishing electronics, because it's like literally something that like people were like, that was unbelievable. Like, we learned more about how to use our Garmin in a half hour than we, forever. So that one's coming back. We also got the Muskie panel back, which Mike from Handlebars, Frank from Thirsty Lures, a few other guys are going to do something on muskie fishing. And then this one's kind of cool. We have an all female panel, and we got some amazing names on it that are basically going to talk about, how they got into fishing as, a female angler, and, any, proper wording here would be like, what was it like? It's probably intimidating for a girl to get into fishing and kind of maybe a male dominated sport. How they get into it, like what clubs they go through, what avenues, Ontario women anglers and all that stuff that they have going on. They're going to be kind of talk about that. So we're really excited for that one. It's going to be really cool. And then I haven't quite confirmed it, but I don't think I'm going to give him a choice. But Bassmaster Elite Angler of the Year, Chris Johnson, is on the table for a seminar, which I think that one would be pretty cool, because he is local to Peterborough, right? So he can't really say no to me.
Yeah, he kind of has to do it.
He kind of has to do it.
But you also have to make him give up the juice for the local lakes. He's got all those hot spots pinned. Like, I don't need coordinates, but give me some pointers on specific lakes here.
For sure. So it's the seminars are really good. Like, Bob's is amazing. Nick's is going to be amazing. They're all going to be amazing, guys. And the reason why we try to change it up, but Nick and Bob are every year because they just pack the room, right? So it's like they're two of the best speakers. So I'm really looking forward to it. The Muskie guys are going to be awesome, and the ladies are going to be awesome. And Chris, well, he doesn't really know anything, but he'll figure it out. So for sure.
Another one I got a bunch of questions here, so I'm gonna choose some of the better ones I really want answered personally. So everyone, give us some tips on what is going to be new this year to the show, because every year we talk about how it's getting bigger, it's getting better. Every year that's been true. We've gotten in the door quicker. That was a big one.
That was a big one. So
expanded buildings and stuff. So there's always more and more and more. So I want to know what is new for 2020.
Let me take you through the show. We're gonna do a new entrance. Last year we ran 2 entrances. There's 2 lines. We're going to do entrance on the outside, going into the outdoor area, like the boatyard. We're going to have like 6 ticket scanners set up, and you're just going to like fly through, and you can go left or right, any way you want. It's going to be way better, way quicker, way better line control. I don't want people getting scared off when we say line up. It's busy. If you come at 9:10, you're going to walk right in the door. There's no problem. If you come at noon, you're going to park at the front gate. No problem. I don't want people panicking about that. Some people are like, I'm not coming. There was a line. Like, that's nuts. That's totally chaotic attitude for not coming. So basically the boatyard, as we call it, the outside area, is going to be way bigger. So we had it all fenced last year. We're opening that up. There's way more boats coming, everything from the best bass boats to your tin boat, whatever. We got one vendor, River Sports Recreation, that's going to bring a deal on like cash and carry outboards. So like 9.9s, 15s, 4 horses. Like, he wants you crazy deal, brand new, pick them up on your shoulder and walk out of the show. Like that kind of deal. He's got a bunch of Yamaha kicker motors for all you trolling guys, salmon guys that he's going to be bringing. Like, that's going to be a really cool deal. We'll advertise that leading up to the show. It's a CanCast exclusive, but like really big deals on that stuff.
Or as I call it, my main motor.
Your main motor. There you go. So that's going to be cool. And then basically the whole ice pad is going to be full again, as well as the swap. We're going to move the tackle swap out of the one building. It's going to go over to the arena, and it's basically going to take up all the big main lobbies out there, which I don't want anyone to think is like getting pushed to the side. It's just so much space in those big main lobbies that we just never used before. So it's going to go in there. We're going to make the show bigger. And the swap was always like 45, 50 tables. It's up to like 87 right now. And like, I don't think I could fit anymore. So the swap's basically doubling in size. So way more used tackle for you guys, new stuff, whatever the guys have in the swap. That's going to be a huge draw. Which that then has allowed us to do is open up 40 more booths for vendors in the back building. So now we've been able to get all these other brands in there, way more stuff to see. And we're really looking forward to that. And it's some really cool companies. Like a lot of you guys that are in the kayak fishing, we have like every kayak company coming imaginable for kayaks to accessories. We got all the big bass boat brands. We have electronics brands. We got Radio World coming this year. Radio World's gonna have a really cool setup. They're actually doing outside a great big trailer that you can walk through, get all your fishing electronics and knowledge and all that stuff and walk out the other side. It's gonna be really cool. So that's gonna be like a really fun area the outside. We have the average Ontario angler's dunk tank, which we need to discuss. For you guys, maybe we'll
That
put
was
Shot
a joke. That was
maybe
a joke.
It's funny, we were talking about it last week. I'm like, we should put Shot and Mark in one. It
Oh,
could be
100%.
hilarious.
I would pay
Yes.
for that.
Yeah. So everyone's gonna want me to go in at the end of the day, and I will do that if it's a successful show. But
I will go in if people, like I said, you pay me
Yeah.
like one lure per ball, and I'll go in there.
yeah. So like that's kind of like the big things is we just opened up so much more space to make it bigger, right? And when we get it bigger, we get more vendors in, which is more products for you guys to look at, more new stuff, more giveaways. Everybody's benefiting from this, and we're really looking forward to it. So bigger all around this year. It will be the biggest CanCast we've ever produced square footage wise. So we're really looking forward to that. A lot of cool stuff. We have Bubba back as our title sponsor again. They're really stepping up. There'll be some awesome Bubba giveaways. And we also have FXR coming on board, FXR Pro Fish, which I don't know if a lot of people know. FXR is a Canadian company. It's based out of Winnipeg. They're making huge waves into the fishing industry. They're sponsoring the first two events of the Bassmaster Elite Series, doing all sorts of awesome stuff up here in Canada, and they're going to be there in a big way. So make sure you check out the FXR booth. It's going to be available at retailers. We got Striker coming. We got Northland Fishing Tackle coming for the first time ever. Yamamoto for the first time ever. What am I missing here? Like, there's tons of awesome brands. We got a cool guy coming, Recast Fishing. He makes lures out of recycled ocean plastic. Gavin, really cool stuff. He's going to be at the show this year. And like, there's so many guys I'm missing that are new vendors. We got Railblazer coming for kayak guys. Geiger Tech's obviously coming back. Tons of guys returning. Almost everybody's returning. And some of them are going even bigger, right? We got the main retailers. I'm going to miss some here, so I apologize to people in advance. Tackle Bros, Tackle Depot, JB's, BJ's, Mac Attack, Smith's, Pro J. Oh my gosh, I'm already missing somebody. I should have wrote these all down. Anyways, long story short, I'm missing retailers there. I apologize, guys, because I do appreciate all of them coming. Huck's doing their big sample clearance sale again. Huck Fishing, Under Armour is doing a huge clearance sale at CanCast as well for fishing stuff. Lots of awesome local companies too. The bait maker guys, and then you got guys like Brandon from the Perfect Jig. He's always a staple there in his corner booth. You got guys like the clothing guys like Hookers, North of 7 Outfitters, Raw Fish, just to name a few, and so much more. Pure Fishing, Shimano's, the Daiwas, all the big guys, St. Croix, Okuma, all those amazing stuff. Scotty's a new one this year. Scotty's coming, trolling stuff. Ontario Salmon Derby's coming this year. They're going to give away some tickets to the Derby and stuff like that. We got Triple Threat Lures coming, which I'm really excited about. They make some awesome trolling spoons and stuff. And like the list just goes on and on, guys. I'm missing people. But
Drift Outfitters too.
Drift,
that's something new. Yeah.
There is a good one. So Drift is coming. Drift is an amazing fly shop downtown Toronto, and they're teaming up on a booth with NRS Fishing. So if you guys know NRS, and they also got Smooth River Guiding in there with them, who I think you guys just had on one of your episodes, right?
Yeah, last episode we talked with Matt Martin, and he went on about all the stuff that is going to be at the CanCast booth. So definitely check that episode out.
So that's one thing I really want
cool stuff.
I really want to touch on is like somewhere along the line, someone like started spreading this rumor that CanCast is a bass only show. And I was just like blown away by that. I'm like, pardon? Like, where did this come from? And it was, as someone was talking to me in the show in Toronto this year, a gentleman, he was at the show and I was talking to him and he goes, yeah, I wanted to go, but here it's bass only. And I'm like, it is everything from muskie vendors to trolling guys to walleye stuff to perch. Like it is a multi-species show. And I really want to make sure we can't, guarantee what the vendors will bring, but we have a wide variety that we can guarantee it will be a multi-species show. Like there's no doubt about it at all. So
100%, 100%.
yeah,
Like
and
I got so much musky stuff last year, like used stuff, new stuff, like, and that was what I was focusing on. Like I wasn't even looking at the bass
yeah,
stuff as much, but there's
yeah,
tons of stuff for anyone.
for sure. So we feel like we got everything covered. So it doesn't matter if it's boating stuff. The boats are going to be really cool this year because they're bringing like such a variety between all the dealers and the manufacturers. Like I said, swap's bigger. The back building is going to be a whole different look and feel this year. The ice pad is always really cool. We'll have the Jumbotron going, all that fun stuff. We're going to have the people outside, food trucks, the whole thing. It's going to be a big festival out there. It's just going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be cool. We got a lot of people coming. Limestone Lures, Jeff Jigs, Jacked Up Jigs, Choppy Water, 911 Baits. Just some guys I want to give a shout out to. Gremlins, obviously Mike at Water Wolf and Bass Magnet. Just guys that just keep supporting the show like year after year after year without hesitation. It's just like yeah, sign me up. Boatland should be there again if the Mercury oil deal that everybody always wants. And obviously we already hit on it, but the tackle swap's going to be huge. So it will be the biggest CanCast we've ever done. It's the most organized one we've ever done. Like we're ready. We're ready to go. So
The thing that I just got from all that is anything you could possibly think about that has to do with fishing is probably going to be a CanCast.
everything.
It's
Yep.
as simple as that. Like you covered everything: boats, line, reels, rods,
Yeah.
tackle, like
Yeah,
batteries, electronics, mounts. It doesn't matter. It's
Like
probably going to be a CanCast.
batteries is a good one. There's we got the guys there from Ionic batteries, and then another one that's coming on as a platinum sponsor this year is Apex Lithium. And Apex Lithium is going to have some crazy deals there with their booth in Radio World for anyone that wants lithium batteries, whether it's for small stuff, big stuff, trolling motors, you name it. They're going to have like amazing deals at the show. And line, obviously lots of line manufacturers, Power Pro and all that stuff with Shimano, Daiwa, J-Braid, name a few, but we're also going to have X-Braid. So X-Braid is a very high brand of line from Japan. They're going to have a full corporate booth there this year. If you guys haven't fished X-Braid, you are missing out. It is amazing.
Look at this.
Oh, there it is. There it is. The stuff is phenomenal.
I haven't used it yet.
Phenomenal. No,
But
you got to use it.
Smells
There's three different kinds. There's the sinking, the finesse, the normal. It's amazing stuff. So we're really excited to have X-Braid coming. And yeah, but the giveaways are really cool. I'll give you guys a sneak peek on a few of them. I'm sorry if I'm skipping your questions, Andrew.
No, hey,
but
That's
go ahead.
fine.
we're going to give away some Scotty stuff. It's going to be a full downrigger as well as some other stuff for a day. I thought that would be pretty cool for a ticket holder. We obviously got FXR Day, which is going to be one of their high-end rain suits and a bunch of other stuff. We got Daiwa Day, we got Shimano Day, we got charters from like big-time captains this year. We got American Bait Works is going to do a full day, $1,000 in American Bait Works. We got Great Lakes Finesse, $1,000 in GLF stuff. Could you imagine? Like you would be set for like 5 years. Smallmouth heaven, to name a few. So Dan's really stepped up there on that stuff. And that's just to name a couple. Bubba, obviously, $1,000 in Bubba. That one was a big one last year. And we're gonna make it so that even if you can't like pick it up at the show, we're gonna get it to you. That's the one thing we want people to know. Some people weren't able to get them or something came up. We're gonna make sure everybody gets their prizes, even if we got to get it to you after, before, whatever works. But I want to give people a tidbit. Even though we like announced we're gonna give away all these prizes to advanced ticket holders, the odds are really, really good on day 1. 2, we sell a few more. 3, we sell a few more. But your odds, for some reason, everybody doesn't buy their tickets till like 2 days before the show. And it's like, it's crazy. Like your odds of winning something are really, really good. Like really good.
I know 2 people last year, like that we know from Instagram that we fished with before. And the one guy won like, I think it was like a pro tackle. It was like an $800 Megabass rod. He was just like
he won
blown
the
away.
He won the Tackle Bros package.
Yeah. He was like, I don't know what to do with this. Should I sell it or keep it? I was like, keep it.
Keep it. So like the prizes are amazing. So we have $1,000 in Yeti stuff as well.
Ooh,
like big cool.
cool
Yeti stepped up this year. So like it's really cool because what's happening is we're trying to build like the CanCast community and everybody's calling us like, how can we get involved? Even if we can't have a booth, like how can we get involved? Because we fill out. The other thing too we did I just wanted to like touch base on opening this new space. We took some of the booths and we cut them in half. So you could get, if you're like a bait maker and you know, maybe you don't quite need a 10 by 10. Maybe you can't quite afford it. It's not in your budget, your startup. We're offering 5 by 10 booths now. And basically it gets the price way down, but it gets you in front of thousands of people. And that's the thing as a vendor. So if anybody wants to reach out to us, we do have a couple of those left. Get your lures out there, get your company out there. It's a great way. You can even ask a guy like Wes, what CanCast has done for his brand and all the people you meet. And to do a trade show well, not just CanCast, it's not just about like what you sell the day of. It's about who you talk to, residual business, branding yourself. There's so much more to it, as you guys know. And that's what some of these vendors sometimes forget, right? So
I just want to jump in and say, I know in the past people have heard, it sounds like a small show. Oh, it's in Peterborough. It's not in Toronto. Is it worth the drive? And I just want to, again, I figure we'll each take a point on this if you want to say something about it. But we've heard of people, like Justin and I have personally met people at the show who have come up to us and said, hey, we came in from London, Ontario. Hey, we flew in from Alberta.
Ottawa.
yeah,
and, we came in from Ottawa, like hours and hours away.
And they want to come back the next year.
And they were not disappointed.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, like, CanCast is not like, it's not a small town fishing show. You might hear, it's a Peterborough tackle swap. No, like this is a legitimate, full-on big show. Like Kyle says, you've heard all the big names that are there, all the big vendors, along with like a tackle swap, along with some small bait manufacturers. It has everything you find at your normal, all the fishing stuff you normally find at your trade shows, and all the fishing stuff you normally find at a tackle swap, and all the stuff like everything. It's everything in one. That's why it's the best. It has everything, has something for everyone.
Yeah, it's everything there. And like we have people coming from Chicago, New York. We got West Coast Fishing Tackle coming all the way from BC to put a booth in. They make some awesome salmon trolling stuff and all that. Like it's really becoming a Canada-wide event. And I always said, like, if we do this right, Peterborough can become the capital of fishing in Canada that weekend. And it definitely starts to feel that way. We have our CanCast social on the Saturday night, which is just an amazing time. It's open to the public at Shoeless Joe's. All weekend, Shoeless Joe's is going to be giving away stuff. If you guys, go to the show and you want to go eat lunch somewhere, hopefully you're staying later than lunch, but dinner after, please go to Shoeless Joe's in Peterborough. They really are stepping up and supporting us this year. It would mean the world to us. But we got guys coming from New Brunswick, a whole like van load this year. We got some brands coming from New Brunswick. So lots of really cool stuff, and it's really turned into something special. And I think it's just kind of like, hey, this is going to be our Super Bowl of fishing, and let's all go partake and let's have a good time. And we really, really can't thank our vendors enough. Like we really look at it as a partnership. And I always say to them, hey, if you guys bring the good stuff, I'll hold my end of the deal as a promoter and I'll pack that building. And one thing we do is, and we market this event. I think that's a fair statement. We do crazy amount of social media campaigns, radio ads, a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm not going to give away all my secrets that we do, but we do a lot of podcasts. We do a lot of marketing, and that's just our commitment we make to our vendors. We understand it costs them money to be there. We understand that, it takes time out of their lives to be there, and we couldn't do it without them. The vendors are the show. So I have no doubt in my mind that if you came, you could outfit yourself for the season at CanCast for everything you need.
That's awesome.
So,
and one last question then. Let's say, I'm married, I have kids. What should I do? Is this just pro fishermen all milling about, and am I going to feel out of place?
Kids are free under 12 for one, and kids absolutely clean up at this show.
I'm jealous.
I always ask to see what's in their bag, and then I take one or two things.
I get parents
don't do that,
messaging us after the show and thanking me. Like we give away so much stuff, but it's not just us, but like the vendors. Like they walk by their booths and they're like, "Oh, you're a kid. Here you go." Like they clean up, and it is so awesome. And I had parents thanking us. And last year we had a gentleman, and I'm so sorry I can't remember his name. He donated us a bunch of tackle boxes that his dad had, who had passed away, and he probably gave us like 10 or 12 of these things, and they were like full of like really good stuff. So we were giving them to kids, and like kids were just losing their minds. Parents were losing their minds. Like one dad's like, I spent $15 to get in here, and my kid's walking out with $200 and stuff like this. It's unreal. And like they just clean up, right? And it is a family event. There's Fishing Frenzy there doing stuff for kids. You can sign up for the OFA Under the Lock Fishing Derby while you're there with your kids. There's everybody is entertaining the kids there. Like everybody does a big deal of making it a big day for the kids, for
And
sure.
a lot of the small vendors, they are like they're a little family business, right? It might just be themselves running it, but they've got a kids of their own. I feel like there are definitely like you said, there are some vendors and they themselves are personally giving away to the kids as well.
I consider like all these vendors my friends. Like I really do. And like I said, some of them aren't returning this year, whether it's personal reasons or conflict, or some of them are getting out of business. But we have so many new guys too, which is really cool. And that's just normal in the trade show world. Guys are going to come in and come out and come in and come out. And it's nothing negative. It's just some guys didn't have any time to make lures this year or whatever, right? It's just how it goes. So, but we got our staples as always. And, they seem to keep coming back. And I'm excited because other than seeing the snow in the parking lot where I had all my anxiety today, I was just like, because we're ready to rock. Like we got a few like housekeeping things we got to do the next month, but like I can confidently say like this is going to be the best CanCast we've ever done. And I don't want people like, oh, there's Kyle talking on Instagram again, blah, blah, blah. Like everything I say, I back it up. I really feel like I do. I really feel like everything we say we're going to do, we do. We're going to give away, we give away. And I had one negative comment last year. That was it. Everything was super positive.
Sorry about that,
Andrew.
by the way. Yeah.
So we'll take that as a win.
My last advice to end up this podcast would be bring money, and the amount you think you need, bring a little bit more, because you'll regret it if you don't have it. Because like Kyle said, it's a buying show. So like we go to all the fishing shows, and some of the shows we go to, it's just companies showing off product. And me and Andrew always get frustrated. Remember, we were at a show and Andrew's like, why can't I buy this? It's like, oh, we're just showing it off. It's like, that's cool, but I want to buy like this thing. It's so cool. No, you can't. You have to buy it on.
You've got
online.
3 behind glass of the same color. Give me one.
You can buy all this stuff at CanCast.
Yeah,
you can't buy Kyle, but everything else you can buy.
No, you can't buy me. But it's we're excited, guys. Like it's gonna be fun. Honestly, guys, if you're listening, get your tickets early. The link's on our Instagram bio. It's on our Facebook. It's on our website. Just get your tickets, guys. Get in. It said it's $15 plus taxes. You're like $19 box office fees. You're out the door. You're there. It gets you all the prizes. It's like a cheap raffle ticket. You get entry to the show for the day. You get the seminars for free with that. I guarantee you're going to walk out with more than $19 in free stuff or savings or however way you want to look at it. But please get your tickets, guys. It means the world to us. It makes our life so much easier, and yours, when you buy them ahead of time. Like you do not want to have to like go fight for the box office. Like buy them ahead of time. Bring your family, bring your wife, bring your kids, and bring your dad, bring your mom, bring your grandma. I don't care. Have a good time and just come out and let me know how you CanCast after. It'd be wicked.